I think it's a sign of the fact that the United States and President Trump find themselves in a very difficult situation here, having to choose between the truth and a good relationship with Saudi Arabia. I think President Trump is desperate to find a way to help the Crown Prince and the King of Saudi Arabia come up with a story that will allow the Crown Prince to remain in place and won't damage Saudi Arabia's reputation too much. And I think he's finding that impossible to do. In short, I don't think President Trump has thought through all the steps that may now unfold, and he's reacting to the information that's dripping out of the Turkish government bit by bit about what actually happened to Mr. Khashoggi.
There are more evidence coming up. If Saudi Arabia is proven to be behind this, how will that affect Trump's policies towards Saudi Arabia and the global and the regional security?
Yeah, first of all, it doesn't need to be proven. A lot of people, including President Trump, are talking about how Saudi Arabia is being treated as if it's guilty until proven innocent, but then in a court of law, you have to assume someone is innocent until proven guilty. Well, actually, that's not how diplomacy works, right? Diplomacy is not a court of law. Diplomacy is all about perceptions and shaping perceptions and then using those perceptions to gain what your country seeks. So in this case, what the United States will seek, if it is shown, if people are convinced that Saudi Arabia and that the Crown Prince ordered this crime, I think the American Congress and the American public are going to be extremely angry and are not going to be satisfied, to be honest, with anything other than a thoroughgoing, as President Trump put it, punishment of Saudi Arabia. So what could that mean? It'll mean sanctions on individual people. Certainly all the people that were involved in the ministries and even the Crown Prince himself, if he ordered this. It'll mean there'll be an expectation of prosecution of the hit squad. It could mean something President Trump really doesn't want to do, which is cancel the arms sales. And then beyond that, there could be additional financial sanctions. But, you know, nobody in the White House wants to have a rupture in relations with Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is such an important country, not only for oil, but also for finance.
And Khashoggi is an American resident, and he is a strong critic of the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince. But what do you think this case will have on the relations between Turkey and Saudi Arabia?
Well, I think Turkey has played this whole very difficult situation with great skill. Turkey has been careful not to accuse anyone in Saudi Arabia of any crime. You notice that President Erdogan has said very little publicly. Now, President Erdogan is known for his vociferous and numerous statements about his view. He's not at all shy to criticize the United States. But he hasn't said anything, not a single negative word, nothing bad about Saudi Arabia. He has relied instead on unnamed Turkish government officials to leak details step by step about what happened. So he's kept his options open, President Erdogan. Turkey, though, I think expects justice to be done. They expect the truth to come out. And in fact, Turkey needs to be seen in the United States, its most important ally, as if it's not trying to hide the truth, because Turkey's reputation in the United States has been quite damaged over the course of the last year or so. So Turkey's trying to avoid a rupture in relations with Saudi Arabia and at the same time improve its relations with the U.S. by pursuing a vigorous investigation.